Hello, Enid, and Happy New Year. I am Diana Hernandez, Communication Assistant for the City of Enid. With me is Assistant City Manager Scott Morris. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year. Glad to be on the show.
I know. So how was your New Year's?
My New Year's was fantastic. Didn't do a whole lot, but we did go out and try Enid Escapes, that escape game over there by Chisholm High School. Had a great time. And we did get out of the room. So if you've never tried an escape room, Enid has one, and it's pretty cool. So we went out and checked it out and had a really good time with the family. So.
Well, thank you so much. So speaking on things of ending, we ended 2020, and I know a lot of people are relieved for that. But another project that is ending January the 15th is the ice storm cleanup project from late October's ice storm. Can you tell us about that?
That's gone really well. Of course, it's popular with our residents. Everybody likes getting the trees and debris removed from around their house and homes, and so that project is continuing. We still have some contractors that are in Enid, and they will be for the next week to 10 days or so. About the 15th, they should be finished and moving on home. So if you still have a pile, if you haven't reported it, please do so. You can use C-Click Fix, or you can call 616-7300. If that pile is still there after the 15th and it's been reported, that doesn't mean that it won't get picked up. It just means that at some point we've got to send these contractors back home, and it'll be back to using the trucks that we have and the personnel that we have to remove what's remaining. But by the 15th, we're expecting that 99% plus of everything that happened on the ice storm as far as tree debris should be picked up and gone and out of here and back to the landfill. We were working on addressing the mountains of trees that are at the landfill. So we've got a grinder that should be repaired, that's ours, and then we've rented another one that will be delivered to the temporary drop site that was over by the Garfield County Jail and by the Animal Control Center. So we'll be getting those tree limbs and things ground up at that site as well. So, but yeah, if you still have a pile, go ahead and get it reported, and if it's after the 15th, city crews will get it picked up.
All right, thank you, Scott, for that update. Another exciting thing that has come to an end is the ice rink. So the ice rink was very popular. I spent a lot of time out there, and a lot of people were just really grateful. It gave them something to do outside. Masks were more than welcome for people to have that extra safety. But yesterday was the last day, January the 3rd. So if you go out there, you won't be able to skate on it anymore. But don't worry, because it was such a success this year that they want to bring it back next year, and bigger and better. So it was a really neat
Yeah,
thing.
Shout out to Main Street Enid. Great job. Natalie, you had a lot to do with it, so very, very good job. Good effort. A lot of other community partners, Jiffy Trip, a lot of other companies invested in Enid to make sure we had something great to do. And what a weekend that we had with the sunny weather out to enjoy those last few days. I know they were really busy this weekend. So that was a great thing. So thanks for putting that together and making it happen, Enid, and looking forward to next year. It's going to be probably bigger and better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And another thing that has closed but has started a new beginning, the closing or the ending of the construction at the new skate park, which is the beginning of the new skate park. And have you been by there, Scott?
That place is busy.
Let me tell you, it's popular. It is a very popular site for kids, and it's so nice to see.
Yes.
It's nice.
And this Friday, we'll be having a kind of a ribbon cutting over there. So about 10:30, we'll get together, and we'll do the ribbon cutting probably a little closer to 11 after a few remarks and things like that. So that's going to be exciting.
Yes.
Kyle Dillingham is local musician, and he's in the Nashville. He played at the Grand Ole Opry. He is going to be here for our ribbon cutting.
Yes.
And he'll probably be out there and skate and play the violin while he's out there skating, and I'm sure that'll be an exciting thing to happen. And then a little bit later on in the day, there's going to be some raffles and competitions, and there's going to be some giveaways for some skateboards and scooters and some instructional things, and so it should be a great day. Hopefully the weather will be nice and the sun will be out on Friday. And we'll just have a great time with it. So that skate park is nice, and I suspect that on every nice day there is, it will be busy.
Well, let me tell you, we swung by there just to get a little bit of footage, and it was cold, and those kids were still out there. It was very busy, high traffic place for kids. And another thing is that on January the 8th, the ribbon cutting is at 10:30. Now, the grand opening events for the new skate park will be at 3:30. There will be a basic skateboard technique clinic and also a skateboard competition where you will have the chance to win a skateboard. Now, Bike Shop will be giving the skateboard for the competition away, and also another skateboard and a scooter, so in a raffle that day. So the raffle will be at 4 o'clock. So I know kids will be in school. That's why we decided to hold off on the activities till 3:30 and the raffle at 4. So, spread the word. It's going to be lots of fun. There's going to be a food truck, Eat 'em Up there, and local brand exists. Will be there giving away merchandise. So it's going to be a really, really good time. So that's really neat. Okay. Now, the New Year's trash schedule and closing. Now, everything is starting to come back around full circle and finish up because New Year's, and it was last week where the Monday and the previous Monday and then the Monday today for what ward? I'm not sure.
It's for the Friday trash route.
There we go.
I'm not sure if that's one ward or if there's kind of two wards that the Friday trash route impacts. But they're picking up the route today, and then they'll pick it up as normal this Friday. So we're pretty much back to the normal schedule, except for today they're picking it up, since they did not pick it up on Friday for New Year's Day. So we'll be back to normal.
Awesome. Now, I did want to, a lot of things are closing, so it's great. Now, the Ward 6 Commissioner seat vacancy, now that the application deadline was actually today at noon. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the reason this being so that it gave enough time for the commissioners and the mayor to review and make a decision tomorrow. Is it that they're going to be making a decision?
That's correct.
Okay.
So as far as I know, there's at least 8 applicants that have applied to be the temporary Ward 6 commissioner until the vote takes place in February. So the mayor and commissioners will be taking a look at those applicants tomorrow night at 6:30. And during the regular meeting and making an appointment for that position. So that'll be exciting.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's jump into some department updates. Now, Solid Waste Services installed a credit card reader at the landfill. And so if you've been there before and you noticed that, we didn't previously have a card reader there, but now we've got this standing machine up and going. So your next time around there, you'll be able to just swipe and be more quicker in and out without.
This might not seem like a big deal, but to someone who's driven into the landfill, maybe they're coming in from just around the outskirts of Enid because they don't have trash service and they don't have cash with them, and they've been told, hey, you got to turn around, go get some cash. They're going to appreciate the fact that we're moving into the 21st century. We got debit cards up, and bring your debit card with you, and we'll make sure you can dump your trash there at the landfill. Yes,
awesome. Okay, now next, water production. Water production pumpage for the week is 54,663,600 gallons last week. Water production making repairs to roof at Plant 1. So if you can see in this picture, there's snow. but it's really neat because they're always working around the clock. Snow, sleet, rain. So awesome. Thank you, water production, for all that you do for the residents of Enid. And next department I want to highlight is utility maintenance, repaired water line at the golf course. So same thing for these guys. We're out there working in the cold. So thank you, utility maintenance, for everything that you guys do for the residents of Enid and for the golf course. All right, so let's jump into the commission meetings now. Tell me about the study session.
Normally we have a study session at 5 o'clock before every meeting, and that usually, the function of a study session is just, to bring up a new topic or an idea and get it in front of the mayor and commission and have a chance just to study what something is that we want to do, or maybe a new ordinance or something like that. And this week we just didn't have anything worthy to be put on there, so it's pretty rare. But we canceled the study session, so there is no 5 o'clock study session, and so we're just going to jump right into the meeting at 6:30. So that's what we'll do. The regular meeting starts at 6:30, and right there on it, after the approval of the minutes, we're getting into the Ward 6 commissioner that we just talked about. So they're going to be reviewing those applicants, and then they're going to install it. They're going to appoint one, and the mayor will swear them in. Probably if hopefully they'll all be there, the ones that really want it, and the mayor will go ahead and install them right there at the meeting as soon as we get kicked off. So that's how the meeting's going to start, and then we'll jump into our administration items. There's a hearing first. That is on a PUD ordinance, so that's planned unit development is what that means, and there's a change that allows this to be considered in R3 districts. So that's pretty much it, other than cleaning up some language. This is basically if you want to take a parcel or a tract of land and have a special use for it that may not fit what it would normally fit in, then you can go through a process, the PUD process, to develop something and submit it, and it gets taken a look at, and some different special things can happen in a PUD. And so there's a hearing for it, and then the first administration item on 6.1 is for them to vote on it. So that's gonna happen, and then the next few items are talking about the Caw Lake project that we've been talking about for so long, and we've talked about Garney, and we've talked about the having our CMAR contractor that's going to do the whole thing for us, and this is the approval of the contract. So the first item is to fund it, and then the 6.4 item is the 6.3 item is to approve the contract. So that will finally be done. That is the last step before we should see some construction happening in the spring. Hopefully end of March, April timeframe, we'll see construction start to happen on the Caw Lake project. So moving forward. And then we've got a few other items on here. 6.4. This is something that I'm really proud of Enid for doing, but we're gonna start out with $200,000 and try to make a way to help any small businesses in Enid that might be struggling with rent or utilities or something that they're struggling with because of COVID. And so we're going to use the ERDA organization to administer those funds, and they'll have an application process with certain qualifications that have to be met, and they'll have funding to try to help some Enid businesses that might be impacted. And I certainly know that we want to help small businesses during this time, and it's COVID has definitely taken its toll, but it seems like most of the big companies, the Walmarts, the grocery stores, the big stores like Academy and things like that, I think those guys are probably doing just fine. And this is aimed more at the small business owner. So hopefully that will help. So that's asking them for $200,000 to do that. And then on item 6.5, most people are aware, but there's an area on Randolph, west of Highway 81, where there's an island of houses in between James and Randolph. And that area of Randolph is we have a future plan to improve that road. And over the last couple years, we've acquired, I think, maybe 5 properties over there. And this is just asking for a little bit more money, $250,000 to just have on hand. So hopefully over the next several years, we can acquire more and more of those properties.
Right.
And we're wanting to pay the fair market value for those homes. We're trying to go ahead and acquire some of them now, and so that gives the city manager a little budget for it. And $250,000 may not buy much, but in the next year or two, maybe it will buy several more of those homes. And so that's what 6.5 is. And then after that, it's consent items. There's really not a whole on there, accepting some different projects that we have that are already completed, some things like that. So that's about it. There's item 7.4 that is on there now. That's actually going to be moved to section 13 under the EEDA, because that's the $200,000 for that small business relief program. And that's just about it for the meeting. I think the highlight will be who applied for Ward 6 and what are the mayor and commissioners, who are they going to appoint for that? That'll be exciting to see. And, certainly a person that is going to have to get up to speed on all the City of Enid projects, so it's always good to communicate with new people and help them along so that they can, when you volunteer to be a mayor or commissioners, that is a big commitment.
Oh, yeah.
And, these guys are taking up a lot of their own personal time. They're getting phone calls and emails, and it's a lot of work for no money. And so it's a big effort, and so I applaud anyone who even applied for it. Certainly the mayor and commissioners during this last year had to deal with all kinds of challenges that they never would have expected they would have had to deal with. And so I really hope that 2021 is a much better year and there's less of those surprises, but we have work to do in the City of Enid.
Oh, yeah.
We have infrastructure to build. We have things we want to get accomplished, and so welcome aboard, whoever the mayor and commissioner appoints, and we got work for you to do.
Thank you, Scott. Let me jump into some COVID-19 numbers. Now, for the Garfield County, total confirmed cases is 5,578. Deaths in Garfield County, 43. Recovered, 5,065. And active cases in Garfield County, 470. Now, for the City of Enid, total confirmed cases of COVID-19, 4,927. Deaths confirmed by COVID-19, 41. Recovered, 4,499, and active cases, 387. And before we close out, do you have any closing remarks or even New Year's optimism that you want to share to the residents?
Well, the COVID-19 immunizations are coming in, and we've had several City of Enid employees that have already gotten the first round of them. And I know during the coming weeks, there'll be more and more of these immunizations coming into Enid, and so I'm really hopeful that will help bring an end to some of this.
Absolutely.
My thoughts and prayers are going out. I know people right now who are suffering with COVID. Have a very close friend that's been in ICU for the last several days, and he is still struggling in the hospital, but getting better. And I'm praying for you, buddy. And I know there's a lot of other people out there that are struggling with it, and so I'm ready to put this COVID to an end. I wish there's something that I could do or some control that we could say that we have in the matter. But I'm really hoping that the immunizations will help, because I think we're all ready to get back to normal and not have to be worried about, is there too many people here? I feel a little uncomfortable, So anyway, I'm hopeful for the vaccines, and I'm just I'm excited about a new year, 2021, and so we can choose to try to be negative and think about what the worst could be, but isn't it much better to try to be a positive person and think about the good outcomes that could happen in 2021, because I know we have work to do. We got things to build. We've got all kinds of projects that we want to do as a City of Enid to help our community, and so we're looking forward to it. 2021 is going to be a great year.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott, for those closing remarks, and thank you everyone who watched. And same time, same place next week for another city update. Thank you, and bye.
Good afternoon, Enid. I'm Gerald Gilbert, your city manager, and I wanted to take a few moments to visit with you as we record this for you. I want to thank some folks and wish everyone in Enid a Happy New Year. I wanted to start by saying that it has been a challenging year, although it's been a very productive, a good year, even with the pandemic, which is unprecedented. I've taken my mask off for a moment so that I can communicate with you better. But I wanted to mention a few of the successful things that the city has accomplished during this past difficult year. Number one, we have moved forward on the Caw Lake project. The Caw Lake Water Supply Project is a project that satisfies and takes care of water needs for the city for 50-plus years into the future. It's a visionary project. It's a great project that is now almost in motion. In the new year, one of the great things you will see is by April or May, you should see some construction starting on the project. It's a very expensive project, as we've talked about, but the city has worked very hard to make it an affordable project. And with the construction contract coming in for the construction manager at risk at $243.5 million, we believe that it is an affordable and necessary project. The total project budget is now $317.5 million. Again, well within the parameters. We got a fantastic interest rate to help finance the project over 30 years at 1.84%. And you'll hear more about that in the future. But several other notable things. I'm just going to mention a few things. Christmas in the Park that just happened, a tremendous effort by city staff to provide holiday cheer for the citizens and people from outside of Enid or coming into Enid. There's still lights up at Meadow Lake Park, so if you get a chance, go take a look. We'll be starting to take those down soon. The city had a great opportunity just in the last month or two to purchase a building downtown, the Great Plains Bank building. So that is now a city-owned building, and the tenant will still be the Great Plains Bank for about a year or so, and then we'll transition to city use. And even in the meantime, the city anticipates working with Making a Difference folks to house a youth program there. So you can look for more great stuff on that in the near future. Brand new skate park, you're going to hear a lot about that. It's already open. There's some more work to do on the skate park, and we'll have a ribbon cutting on January 8th. You'll hear more about that soon. But more fantastic stuff coming. Where the old skate park is, we'll eventually make an announcement probably next month about closing that skate park as we transition to the new police training center that will occupy that site in the future. The ODOT crossing overpass on Highway 81, that is almost complete. That has been a project that's been several years in the making. It's a fantastic project that, again, will serve the city and traffic through the city for many, many decades to come. The Cleveland Boulevard, reaching way back to earlier in the year, was completed and opened. That's a fantastic improvement between Chestnut and the railroad tracks. And we're continuing to work on the widening project from the railroad tracks to Willow. You'll see progress on that in years to come. Those are just a few of the projects. There's many, many more, but I mentioned that I want to thank some folks. First and foremost, I want to thank the leadership of the city, our city commission, from Mayor Pankinen to each one of our city commissioners. I believe that they have all done a fine job in difficult, trying circumstances over the past year. I appreciate their support of city staff as we work together and try to solve some of these difficult problems and move forward on capital projects, including the biggest one in the city's history, the Caw Lake Water Supply Project. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, commissioners. I appreciate all your effort. I know that change is coming. As we all know, there's an election in February. There's a recall election for Ward 3, and there's also an election for Ward 3 to determine who will serve the regular term from May forward. We also have a race in Ward 4, and we have an open seat in Ward 6 that will be electing, folks from Ward 6 will be electing a new representative. So that will be coming soon. I know at the next commission meeting on January 5th, the commissioners will be reviewing applications that have been submitted to fill in as the Ward 6 commissioner until a duly elected representative is appointed or is determined through the election process. So again, I want to thank Mayor Pankinen and all the commissioners for all the selfless work you've put in, contrary to what some folks think, you do this because you have a passion for the city and you're serving selflessly. You don't get paid for this stuff, and nobody would have ever thought that we'd have the challenges we do, including the pandemic. So thanks again. I know change is inevitable. I look forward to working with new folks that are elected. We'll have at least 2 new commissioners by May. And I really want to thank city staff for the incredible work you have done during this past year. It's been a challenging year. Who would have dreamt that when we're watching the news and hearing about a mysterious virus affecting people in China back a year ago, that we would be where we are today, and that we would be shutting things down in the March-April timeframe, and we would be wearing masks and all now. So as we reflect on that, I want to leave everybody with more good news. 2021 is certainly going to be better than 2020 has been. And from the perspective of the pandemic, I'm pleased to say the vaccine is already here in the city of Enid. There have been healthcare workers already inoculated, so you'll be hearing more about that in the future. And I'm confident that within the next few months, the vaccine will be available to all of us. And I think that's what it's going to take to end the pandemic. So I look forward to that. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and you continue to have happy holidays. And I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. I'm happy to be your city manager leading into the next year. And so I know 2021, the best is yet to come. See you, Enid. Happy New Year.
I'm Chris Bauer.
And I'm Carla Ruther.
Welcome to Community Development.
We provide staff support for the Mayor and Board of Commissioners, Metropolitan Area Planning Commission, referred to as MAPC or Planning Commission, the Historic Preservation Commission, and Zoning Board of Adjustment.
We are responsible for Envision Enid Comprehensive Plan, Vance Air Force Base Joint Land Use Study, the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission jurisdiction, which includes all of Enid city limits and within 3 miles around the city of Enid, Enid zoning, Garfield County zoning within MAPC jurisdiction, residential and commercial plats.
And for certificates of appropriateness for the Kenwood and Waverly historic districts, planned unit developments, which are PUDs, use by reviews, lot splits, site plans, and variances.
We provide staff support to the Garfield County Commissioners, Vance Air Force Base, and Enid Regional Development Alliance. Please stop by and visit us. Give us a call, email us, or visit us online.
Our applications and helpful checklists are available online or in our office.